How are you, DJ?
I'm doing great, Rich. You know, there was a scout, no lie, from the WWE at the Senior Bowl.
Tell me about it. Seriously. Really?
Yeah. No, seriously. There was a guy there, and it just said, I think it even said on his credential WWE because they hadn't made their announcement yet.
Okay.
So I was talking to one of my buddies who's a scout with a team who was just talking to him, and he was like, yeah, I guess they're starting to work on these guys. And so then we started having fun, a bunch of personnel guys just going back and forth about kind of like coming to America. The NFL has the Giants. We have the Andre the Giant. I mean, there's just a million different ways you can go with that one.
Wow. So did the guy have a nickname on his credential? Was it Stone Cold or what was it? What was it?
I didn't get to meet him. But I just heard that they're already doing their work, man.
Daniel Jeremiah working on the first ever XFL 2.0 mock draft 1.0.
Kevin Hogan? Hulk Hogan.
That's it.
Yes, see? This is a great game.
It's a great game.
This is a great game. There's nobody at the Senior Bowl named Cena, is there? No?
Yeah, no, not that I know of.
Okay, very good. All right, who is showing up there? Who's shown out so far, DJ? Give me one.
Well, I thought Baker had a great week. That was probably the headliner. And I know people think we focus too much on the quarterbacks, but he was outstanding. I thought he was consistent, the most consistent guy kind of throughout the week. And he just looks comfortable and confident. He's so quick. And not just talking about feet, but just working through your progressions and finding where to put the football. He processes really, really quickly. So he was impressive. I thought Josh Allen got better every day, culminating with his practice yesterday, especially down in the red zone, was really good. He's going to take some time, but I think the upside is what it is. It's very, very intriguing. So I thought where he came in, I think he probably leaves in about the same area. I don't know that he helped or hurt himself. And then I thought the quarterback that probably helped himself more than anybody else was Luke Falk, because he's kind of been out of sight, out of mind, didn't play in the bowl game because he was injured. But he came out here, and while he doesn't have a big arm, he was just very efficient. And every year it seems like we get a third, fourth round quarterback out of this game that ends up being a good NFL player. So he'd be the one I keep an eye on.
Okay. So has anybody hurt themselves? Not physically, but stock wise this week.
Before yesterday, I would have said Marcus Davenport, the end from San Antonio, who's not having a great week. It was a little disappointing, but then yesterday in the team period, he had 2 sacks and then had another time where he kind of tipped the ball out of the quarterback's hand that got picked. So he ended up having a big day there. And, as this is, man, we see this every year where you'll see some of the guys in the practices, they're so-so, and then we get to the game on Saturday and they rip it up. So you hate to make any strong declarations until they get a chance to play tomorrow.
Sure. Daniel Jeremiah joining me here. I'll ask you the question I asked our buddy Bucky Brooks a couple days ago. Is the first overall selected quarterback currently in Mobile, Alabama? Yay or nay? What do you think?
Well, I mean, I've only pretty much been in my hotel in the Chick-fil-A next door, but I haven't seen Sam Darnold down here. So I don't think so.
What a great response, DJ. That's a great response.
My wife looked at the credit card bill the other day. She goes, there's just like a $7 dinner charge every night. How much money do they give you for dinner? I said, I think it's like $50. She goes, you're eating a Chick-fil-A every night? I'm like, yeah, but it's right next to the hotel. It's so
right
easy.
It's convenient. It's convenient.
Yeah.
Convenience, that's what it's all about. Okay, so you still think Darnold's won. I saw in your first mock draft that you had the Giants passing on Josh Rosen, taking Saquon Barkley, and Rosen falling to the Jets. If that happens, DJ, not only would you be Nostradamus, but that would set up a storyline in the New York City football media for a decade plus. Daniel.
I did it for the Rich Eisen show.
And Larry David would be very happy if Josh Rosen became a Jet. Do you really? So, give me your thinking behind all of that, DJ.
Yeah, look, to me, it's going to be fascinating. The real decision, I think, comes in at number 2 with what the Giants do, and they're going to be on one of 2 tracks. It's we are in full rebuild, look to the future mode, or we have Dave Gettleman back in the building, who was around when Eli won a couple rings. And still thinks that Eli's got a little bit left, and he thinks, man, we get Odell Beckham back healthy. I go out and get him Saquon Barkley, and then we can flip this thing right back around and be in the playoffs next year. So it's just kind of one of those 2 lines of thinking. So in this one, you'll toy around with different scenarios doing these mock drafts, but in this one, this is the Eli's got a little left mock draft theory.
Well, that would be this would be a dream Jay-Z scenario to have Saquon right there in his backyard in the New York City metropolitan area. But you think Rosen would fall past any other quarterback needy teams, like say Denver? I mean, Denver's getting a look-see at both Mayfield and Allen because they're coaching the Senior Bowl. So what do you think there?
Well, the vibe, and again, I try and do these mock drafts. A lot of what I'm kind of hearing are buzz, and it's not like there's a ton of that right now. But you do hear a lot about the Broncos, and they're probably one of those teams that's going to look pretty hard at the veteran market and who that consists of. And I know Alex Smith ain't getting traded there inside the division, so that leaves you with Kirk Cousins if he does get to the market. And I think there's a lot of people connecting the dots that think if he is a free agent, that Denver would be a very likely landing spot.
I agree. I think Kirk Cousins with those weapons in that area, with that offense that they could tailor around him, that would be something. I think that would work, don't you, Daniel?
Yeah, veteran. You got some veteran receivers that he would immediately be comfortable with. I mean, I still feel like it's weird. I know he's gotten all this money from being tagged and all that, but I still feel like he doesn't get the full buy-in from people on the outside, but on the inside, when you're around people in the league, I think there's a lot of respect for what Kirk Cousins has done, and they realize he hadn't been throwing to Jerry Rice out there for the last couple of years.
A couple more minutes here with Daniel Jeremiah calling in from the Senior Bowl. So, we got Nick Saban in the booth, huh? That was pretty cool.
How about that?
What did you glean from what he was talking about with RPOs and how he thinks it's making things exciting at the professional level, that the NFL is taking more and more from college, and clearly, what Nick Foles has been doing over the last 2 playoff games with all those RPOs has the Eagles in the Super Bowl. What did you take from Nick's comments on that?
Well, I thought it was right on. It's funny because you're just down here talking to buddies, and it's. I think a little bit of the narrative is, hey, the Eagles are really, they're really dabbling in the RPO world. They're really mixing that in, and you're down here, and it's like mixing it in. It's their whole offense. Mm-hmm. Their entire offense the Eagles are running is a college offense, and they're 1 game away from winning the Super Bowl with this college offense. So I think it's a little bit of a turning point. You saw what Watson was doing with Houston, and you got to kind of rearrange your thinking as an evaluator and just say, hey, man, this is not something where they're sprinkling this stuff in. There's a full commitment taking place to this style of football, and it's going to make guys like Baker Mayfield a heck of a lot more valuable.
Huh. So what do you think Belichick's going to do here? I mean, because Mariucci came on our Monday show and said he wouldn't be surprised if he called Saban up to say, hey, what are you seeing out of these RPOs all the time that can help us defensively? How do you think he is spending his time in the film room with the future coach of the Detroit Lions on how to stop this thing?
Yeah, I mean, I think sure you make that phone call. Here's the challenge though, because Saban can give them all the advice about what they do schematically, but Saban's 11 dudes on defense are better than the 11 dudes on offense they play every single week. That Patriots defense is not. They are not. So that's going to be the big challenge. That front seven, especially those linebackers, they're going to have to be sorting through all that stuff. We use the term eye candy. I mean, they're going to have to sort through all that. They're going to stretch those guys all over the place, mentally and physically. Who
do you think on the Eagles' defense could start for the crack the lineup for the Patriots? Or vice versa. Give me Patriots that could crack the lineup in the Eagles' defense, Daniel.
Yeah, I still come back to McCourty. But that's if you're talking about McLeod, I'd take Jenkins over him. So you've got McCourty in the mix, and then Flowers would be in the rotation. But outside of that, I can't find a lot of guys.
So do you think? So you think the Eagles can win? Are going to win this game? What do you think?
I think they've got a really good shot. I just have a hard, fast rule. I'd never, ever bet against number 12.
Yep.
Because when everything else is stacked in someone else's favor, you get to that position, the most important position, and the guy's he's a freak show. So I don't as a habit ever bet against number 12. But if you just look at it on paper, yes, I can make a case the Eagles can win this one.
All right, DJ. Thanks for the call. Enjoy the rest of your Chick-fil-A palooza. And I guess if you see a scout take a bridge chair to somebody, you know that's the one from the WWE, right?
Oh, this is going to be so fun. Can't wait.
All right, Daniel. We'll see you soon.
See you, buddy.
Okay, bud. That's DJ at Move the Sticks.
For more Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Rich Eisen Show app.